Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is October 7th, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. We got Washington State, Oregon is right here. You can see we've got some weak frontal systems trying to make some headway into the Pacific Northwest. They've been falling apart quite rapidly as they've been doing so. We're going to take a look at that here in the models. We'll take a look at the extended forecast as well, as most of the precipitation continues up across some portions of western British Columbia. So let's put this back towards yesterday here, and you can kind of see that we've still got this ridging around. And again, these very weak systems trying to move in here, and they can't make much headway. Did have a nice lenticular show out across Mount Adams and Mount Rainier yesterday also. And check my social media there on X if you want to check that out. But anyway, yeah, we're going to take a look at what is to come here over the next few days. We're probably going to get a little bit of precipitation here, and I'll show you that in a bit. But taking a look at SeaTac yesterday, 67. That's 3 degrees above average. That's some nice sunshine out there, especially in the afternoon hours for many areas across the region. No precipitation yesterday, and we averaged almost 4 inches for the month of October. And by the time we get towards Halloween, look at that, we lose about 10 degrees off our average high temperature there, 56 degrees. I checked this weather station out here on, we're looking out towards Westport, Washington. You can see Aberdeen would be right there. If I scroll out a little bit, you can kind of see where Olympia is. But you can see this does wind, lightning detection system, stores all this data for you in the cloud. It's not raining right now, but you can see the sun already starting to cast its rays across this weather station. You see the solar radiation going on there, and you can click on these individual parameters and graph them yourself. So if you want one of these stations, click on that link down below to save 10% off. Highly recommended. And I pointed this out yesterday, the Weather Spotter and Observer training. You can do this online. See this little headline right there? You click on that if you want to register here. So go to weather.gov and click on the Spokane one here. So if you go to there, you would just click on the actual interactive map itself and click on there. And then you could enter your registration information. You can do that online. Now, taking a look at 500 millibars, 18,000 feet, you can see the Gulf of Alaska troughing here. And we've got some ridging here across Pacific Northwest, and we put this into motion, and you can see these systems are weakening as we get in towards Pacific Northwest, but we're probably going to get some precipitation as we move through Tuesday a little bit, and then maybe through Wednesday in the mid portion of the week. Somewhat of a system trying to move down towards the Oregon coast. Then you can see the Gulf of Alaska low really gets churning here as we go off in towards next weekend. What does that mean for us? Well, it keeps the systems a little bit far away, and the lion's share of the precipitation up into western BC, but we continue to watch this because things can change rapidly, and we could easily bring one of these frontal systems into the region. Now, taking a look at what is to come here over the next couple of days, put this into motion. You see the precipitation continuing to fall across some of western BC, Vancouver Island. As we go through the afternoon, this front is rapidly decaying, starts to try to bring some precipitation for western Washington and portions of western Oregon as we go on in through tomorrow. But you can see it's not a lot here. And then we scroll off in towards Wednesday. You see the troughing is still around, and we're going to try to bring another round of precipitation. Again, not amounting to much. And then you can see that next system off the coast to the Oregon-California border. We'll be watching that one closely to see exactly what it has in store for us. And I've been showing this one. This is the Pacific North American Oscillation. This is when the Gulf of Alaska troughing is really ripping. You can see we're in positive territory, and then we get towards neutral territory, and then again the Gulf of Alaska lows. We go on in towards the mid portion of the month is going to be ripping. Then maybe some kind of a transition here as we go through the 16th and 17th of October. We'll be watching that. And again, Pacific North American positive oscillation, Pacific North American negative right there. Now, taking a look at the high resolution rapid refresh, let's see what it says. You can see it's trying to bring some clouds in as we go through the day today, but there's still bits of clearing out there as well. We go to Tuesday morning, and again, this very weak frontal system falling apart as it moves into the area, bringing a few showers with it, but not a big washout by any means. And then we go towards Wednesday morning. It shows a little bit more activity here moving into Vancouver Island, trying to approach the Washington coastline. If we look out 15 days on the European, look at this precipitation anomaly, sharp precipitation gradient. This has been the case over the last few weeks, and you can see the Pacific Northwest not included in that. European backing off on how much precipitation is going to get down in towards Washington and Oregon. The GFS shows something similar as well. The precipitation gradient a little bit further to the south, and this goes out 16 days. But again, it's a fine line, and things can change rapidly. If we take a look at the GFS, we looked at the European earlier. You can see these systems trying to move through as we go through Wednesday. They're weakening as they do so. System tries to move down towards Oregon, California here. And again, we'll watch that and look at that a little bit more detail tomorrow. And then the Gulf of Alaska low just really churning out here, a sign of that Pacific North American positive oscillation. But you can also see once you get out there, you can't rule out some of this activity getting back in towards the Pacific Northwest. We'll be watching that closely as we go. And then maybe we'll get some ridging here so we can have some nice evening viewing of that comet there, C 2023. And this is the ultimate fantasy forecast here. This is just something for entertainment purposes only. It's a SeaTac International Airport. This is the European weeklies, and this goes out over 1,000 hours. So you can see this would be Halloween right here, and it does show a little bit of snowfall coming here for us in November. Actually, 100 ensemble members there, and a few of them do show a little bit of snowfall, but they're absolutely not based in reality right now. I mean, it is that time of year where you can start to get some of the cooler weather in here, so it's not completely out of the realm of possibility. Just showing you a fantasy forecast here on some of the other, this is just another weather model people can look at for the extended forecast. This is something that's much more usable though. Same model, European weeklies. You can kind of see as we go through October and into November as the temperatures are cooling down as we get on into towards November. And you can see the control run there kind of showing some cooler air making its way into the region there as well. Just purely a fantasy forecast right now. And I went out and looked at that on the European weeklies, and you can kind of see that polar lobe taking a swing at us here as we go through mid-November. So, that's just part of the fantasy forecast. I did just want to kind of show you the 500 millibar heights on that. You can kind of look at all these different weather model maps associated with that. And you can kind of see the corresponding Arctic high down across British Columbia, maybe some convergence zone activity there, but just a fantasy forecast, just something to look at since we're in a little bit of a slow period right now. And again, comet viewing October 14th through the 24th coming up here, western sky after sunset. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of cloud activity we have. I'm hoping for a clear night or two so we can view that. And I'll be looking at some of the European model stuff here once we go out. Let's go out towards the 14th right there. And you can kind of see that's not great for comet viewing, but if you go towards the 15th, maybe a little bit better here. We'll see how that works out. 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, and I believe this was updated yesterday. It was. That's the most current. You can see that a little bit above average there, but you got to take that with a grain of salt. You saw what the European and the GFS were showing in the 6 to 10 day temperature with some of that ridging over us and the deep Gulf of Alaska low and the troughing out there. Lower heights, it's amplifying this ridging and keeping the western portion of the USA above average. So anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. Otherwise, we'll break this all down again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.